WU.
Your cell phone bill is what's up. All this texting.
OMG, INBD.
It is a big deal. Who are you texting 50 times a day?
IDK, my BFF Jill.
Tell your BFF Jill that I'm taking away your phone.
TISNF.
Me paying this bill, that's what's the S. Damn F.
The web has created a bunch of obnoxious acronyms for us to use in text messaging, and now when you actually talk to someone, you don't laugh out loud, you just say that you're laughing out loud.
ROFL, FDR, JK, LOL, LBJ.
So it's kind of made even conversations less personal. You know, if you say something really funny to me, oh my god, LOL. I could just really laugh loud at what you said.
In your day-to-day conversations?
Yes, definitely. Def.
I do.
He does a lot.
I use LOL all the time.
BRB.
I use BRB.
I use it to make fun of people. Actually, like I'll be like, oh, LOL, as a joke, because I'm making fun of some girls that are doing it.
I mean, once in a while I'll say, oh, JK, or BRB, I guess, but I think it sounds kind of silly, so.
So would you a lot of my friends do use it. They use a BRB a lot, and DEF, and ABI. Those are the three.
So you consider...
Not intentionally. We're not, like, ever in a serious conversation when I with someone. Like, sometimes those cats would be like BRB, joking around and say it, but I would never use it in a real conversation intentionally, I don't think.
So when
I guess so, yeah. Only because I'm using it in a mocking matter, but I don't know. I don't like that question.
Why? Because it's true?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
Who are you mocking?
Like my little sister, her friends.
People? How old's your sister?
They're not, I mean, they're not using it in a serious way, but they're not mocking people. I'm like, it's just part of their regular language. Like, you'll say something like ABI, and, I mean, it's just a part of their conversation.
Like joking and mocking.
It started out joking and mocking, that's the weird thing. And
Yeah.
now it's serious. Like, it was definitely a joke. Like, 4 years ago, it was like
I
LOL.
hated it when people
or
used
JK.
LOL,
Like,
yeah.
it was such a joke to say JK, but it's real now.
Well, do you think that people in a...
It definitely has.
PC
It
answer
depends
is
on
yes.
the blonde effect. It depends on how they use it though. Because like girls using it on there's a difference between when girls use it online and then when they drop it in regular conversation.
Yeah.
That's a definite drop in IQ.
When a girl says like
That's when I
obvi in
start
person,
talking.
I'm just like, are you serious?
It doesn't have to be, in my opinion, it doesn't have to be dropping IQ, but it's just, like, the personalities, like, it's like a red flag in terms of personality, like,
I'm usually just not one to judge.
I judge.
Me too.
Well, I guess it depends on the context of our conversation. Like, if we're talking about, if we're having like a serious, like intellectual conversation, and someone keeps abbreviating everything or being like BRB or I feel like I would just take the conversation way less seriously, or I wouldn't really. I can't say that it would really change my image of the person. Maybe in passing when I hear like girls be like, hey, like. Oh well, like I think that sounds stupid, but it just depends on the conversation because I know I do it sometimes too.
Do you think there is a sense of stupidity associated to it, whether or not, like, I necessarily associate myself, but, I mean, people pick and choose who they use this language around. They don't just use it. It's not completely integrated into their everyday conversation. You're not going to talk to your parents or your teachers or employees using, like, ABI or this or LOL or whatever, because there is some meaning tied behind this adoption of language.
And like, especially since texting, I think that texting does it a lot too, because then you just kind of shorten it while you're texting it, and then I have a tendency to like say what I'm texting out loud, and so there it is.
Because kids like our age and our generation have used it so much, on everyday basis, whether it's texting or actually talking on AIM, has become part of like our just basic, I guess, vocabulary.
So you think cell phone texting has actually increased online language?
I think cell phone texting and IM are
pretty much the
almost
same.
equal.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, since I've been in college, I do a lot more texting than I do IM. And like in high school, AIM was like what I used a lot, and now
I don't really use AIM anymore.
I barely use AIM.
Little FB chat, but other than that, I text. So.
See, talking about that stuff, you did the FB chat
Yeah.
instead of Facebook.
Is that where it came from?
I mean, I think that's exactly what it was. I mean, we used to be on IM all the time in middle school, but that was like our only channel to use that type of language. And then as we've been getting older and you notice the use of it more and more, it's because we have more channels in which to use that language. And I feel like at this point we just have so, like, you got G-chat, you got Facebook chat, you got IM, you got text messaging, there's so many ways to use it that people do use it all the time. So
La 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 la. Sup, sup, NMU, OMG, LOL, ROTFL, ROTFLOL, LMAO.
What's that language?
I am chatter.
Speaking English, what's the matter?
Oh my gosh, laugh out loud, rolling on the floor laughing. OMG, LOL, ROTFL, ROTFLOL, LMAO.
I mean, language. I mean, things that would have been said in the 70s and 80s, like.
Golly gee.
No, I'm just saying, like, even the word like awesome, like that was not. You couldn't say that in the 50s, but people say it in the office. I worked all day in an office day. Like, it's not a weird thing to say. It's not like, oh, like you're from a different generation. So I mean, in the same way, in 30 years from now, there'll be even crazier words, and you know, we'll all be old people, and like, they better not say that in an interview. So the old people that we're interviewing with now look upon the things we say. It's just, you know, every generation there's a whole another set of words, and people get used to it in a few decades when the abbreviations become the person giving the job or saying it, not the people trying to get the job.
So this isn't so much a trend as it's just gonna, as the generations get older, they're gonna assimilate into the language?
I mean, I think parts of it are trends, and I think parts of it will eventually be assimilated into language. I mean, the Webster constantly, they add, you know, somewhere around
Webster
50.
added
Gets older, or do you think it's here to stay?
I think it's probably here to stay because it's part of like a larger technological revolution with the internet communications and stuff. So I don't think it's like necessarily going to be just confined to our generation. It should be passed down as more and more people use the internet.
So it's going to be more and more acceptable to use internet language in like a business setting or something other than just you and your friends hanging out?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I hope it actually doesn't kind of do that. I hope it isn't exactly appropriate for professional conversations still, just because I think it's kind of weird. But I could definitely see that it might not be as frowned upon in the future. And they would actually know what you were talking about, as opposed to having to ask.
Beth Ann, 3,000 texts last month.
NWRUS?
That wasn't a compliment. Sean, 1,000 texts?
UGH.
And you're old enough to know better.
MYOB, will you?
Grandma.
Mom, who could you be texting?
IDK, my BFF Rose.
Now get a texting plan the whole family can enjoy.
Our dads are so pathetic. They're like trapped in H.G. Wells' time machine, stuck in like